So my name is Jeremiah Christopher from Edukea Tanzania. Now let's just see another subtopics, which is fishing in Norway. As in the last sessions we have been discussed the various things concerning about the fishing. So we see how fishing is practiced through the various methods. We also see there is a various methods that used in fishing, like howling, trawling. Also there is the drifting method and etc. So let's just now see the fishing in Norway. So today we are going to study the fishing in Norway, and Norway today is acting as our case study, where we are going to see how or which kind of methods Norway used in the fishing, the different mechanisms that they used in fishing. So fishing industry is well developed in Norway, and it takes place in the North Sea. So we know that in Norway the availability of water bodies that act as the driving force for the fishing to take place there. So as we know that Norway is among the countries that is developed in different sectors of economy. Even one among the sectors that is developed in Norway is fishing. So fishing is a leading country in fishing is done in the sea, because fishing farming inland is difficult due to the harsh climate. So the species common fishing are cod and herring. This is kind of species of fish that is very common found in the country of Norway. So the development has been due to the following factors. So for any kind of progressive changes to take place, there is a different factors that will act as the driving force for that things to go on. So let's just now see what are the factors that contributed much to the development of fishing in Norway. The first one is the presence of the continental shelf that provides a shallow water and the fish food, that is the plankton. So the presence of continental shelf is among the factors that contributed much to the development of fishing in Norway. It is due to the fact that through the presence of those continental shelf provides the shallow water and the fish food. So through the presence of continental shelf, the fish food, that is the planktons, will be available. So in order, as we see that in order for the planktons act as the food which is used by the fishes, and so this is far due to the sunlight penetration in the shallow water that encourages the growth of plankton. So the continental shelf played the great roles for the sunlight to penetrate, and if the sun penetrates in the shallow water, it tends to encourage the ground of planktons to grow. So it is through the continental shelf that it played the great roles for the ensure the availability of planktons that is used by the fish as a food. So the continental shelf provide and encourage the growth of plankton, since it allows the penetration of the sunlight. So the water do not exceed a depth of 185 meters. So it is due to the absence of continental shelves that will not allow water to exceed a depth of 185 meters. So through the presence of continental shelf, it acts as among the factors that contributed much to the development of fish in Norway. So also another factor that contributed to the development of fishing in Norway is long intended coastline, which provide fishing ground and sheltered harbors. So in coast of the water bodies that is found in Norway support the fishing ground. So due to the presence of those coastlines, also emphasized much the development of fishing to take place in Norway. So that is another driving force that contributed much to the development of fishing in Norway. So another is the North Atlantic drift or the ocean's current, which is warm, has led to the favorable condition for fish industry development. So due to the presence of the North Atlantic drift that is found in the Norwegian country, contributed much to produce warm water. That warm water played the great role to support the development of fishing industry in the country of Norway. So the drift also bring and distribute food along the coast. So due to the presence of this drift in the North Atlantic, it plays the great role to the supplying or distributing food along the coast. So the North Atlantic drift that's found in Norway's country played the great role to the development of fishing industry in the country of Norway. Another factor that contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Norway is the need for raw material for oiling making industry has encouraged the fishing industry. So the government of Norway emphasized much to support the development of fishing sector. It is simply because the fish, as you know, that fishes will act as the raw materials to produce the oil, and that kind of oil it will also be used in the industry for different activities. So through the needs of raw materials, the government of Norway ensure that the fishing industry is encouraged, simply because they know that if they encourage the productions of fish, they will get the raw materials that produce oil, and that oil is used in the industry. So that is another factor that contributed much to the development of fishing industry in the country of Norway. So another factor is limited agricultural land, forestry and mineral deposit have made people opt for fishing activities. Some of the land is no longer productive. So as we know that the agriculture is not practiced well in the country of Norway, so many people tend to engage in the fishing activities, and the government of Norway is supporting people in different ways so as to engage in the fishing activities. So also in the country of Norway there is no also mineral deposits that is available there. So many people engaged in the fishing sector rather than other sectors like agriculture and the mineral. So also the high demand balance diet in the urban area has provided market for industry. As we know that the fish act as the food that many people depending on it. So the people who are living in urban demand the balanced diet. So hence the fishing industry is encouraged much in Norway country for the purpose of to fulfill the demands of balanced diet among the people who are living in urban areas. So the high demand balanced diet is urban area has provided much the emphasis to the development of the fishing industry in Norway. So another factor that contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Norway is good transport and communication has also encouraged. For example, there are advanced port like Scavenger, also Mosi, Thorndames, Alson, and Hagwinsson. So the sector of transport and communication in the country of Norway, as we know, that is well developed. So due to the well developed transport and communications, and due to the government of Norway to encourage the development of transport and communications in Norway, automatically tend to facilitate the development of fishing industry in the country. So transport and communication also encouraged and hence lead to the development of fishing in Norway. So the point to note here is that transport and communications also act as the driving force for the development of fishing in Norway. Another point is the use of advanced fishing facilities. As we know that Norway is among the countries that is developed economically. So the country of Norway having the good facilities that are used in the fishing activity. So due to advanced technology in country of Norway, they tend to having the advanced facilities that are used in the fishing activities. Those facilities include the refrigerated cargo vessel for transporting to the other part of the world. So the country of Norway having the advanced fishing facilities, for example, the refrigerated cargo vessels that is used for transporting the fish from one part of the world into the another part. So these have been a result of use of advanced technology. So the advanced technology that is found in the country of Norway contributed much to the development of fishing industry, since there is a different facilities that is produced in Norway due to the advanced technology that tend or encourage the fishing industry to develop in Norway. So some of fish is exported while frozen to Britain, the French fish for the tanning activity. So the country of Norway tend to export the fish into the other country for the searching of market. So due to the presence of developed advanced fishing facilities that are used in Norway contributed much to the development of fishing industry in the country of Norway. So let's just now see another reason or factor that is contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Norway. That is, there has been strong government support on the fishing industry. So as we know that the government act as the driving force for any development to occur at a certain country. So due to the availability of those advanced facilities, the advanced technology that is found in the country of Norway, not only that, but also the government of Russia keep much emphasizing or keep the effort to the development of the fishing sector. So Norway government supporting or providing a strong support to the development of fishing industry. It is simply because it seems that the fishing sector is among the economic sector that lead to the development of the country. So government support provide much the development of the fishing industry in the country of Norway. So another is power availability, especially hydroelectric power, has stimulated the development of the fishing industry. So due to the different mechanisms or advanced facilities, there are some of the facilities that are used in the fishing activities that are using the electricity. And as we know that in the country of Norway developed in the sector of hydroelectric power generation. So due to the availability of hydroelectric power generations in the country of Norway contributed or stimulated much to the development of the fishing industry. So another point that contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Norway is power availability, or especially in the generations of hydroelectric power. So another point is the presence of wide variety of fish species like capelin, cod, herring, bristling, hardrock, spans, makers, wale, and dogfish or rock salmon. So due to the availability of many kinds of fish species contributed also much to the development of fishing industry in Norway. So in Norway there is a different kind of species that is found there. So due to the development of having those fishing species that is found in Norway contributed much to stimulate the development of fishing industry in the country of Norway. So also there has been introduction of exotic species which are commercially more desirable. So even in the country of Norway, having or introducing those exotic species that is more demanded commercially, and hence stimulated the development of the fishing industry in the country of Norway. Another point is capital to be invested in the fisheries is readily available. So as we know that capital is among the driving factor for the development of any project. So the fishing sector in Norway tend to develop due to the fact that the government of Norway keep or invested much the capital to encourage the development of fishing industry. So due to the availability of capital in the country of Norway contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Norway. Also, the use of modern fishing methods like trolling and drifting netting. So also the government of Norway developed in the science and technology, as we know that through the availability of that technologies in the country of Norway, they use the different advanced methods like trolling and drifting netting. So the technology of using this kind of methods also facilitated more the development of fishing in the country of Norway. So Norway using the modern fishing methods like trolling and drifting method in the fishing activities. So also that is another reason that contributed much to the development of fishing in Norway. So after finishing to see the explanation concerning about the fishing activities that is done in the Norway country, we see what are the different methods that are used in fishing in Norway. There is a trolling, drifting method that are used as a method of fishing in Norway. Also we see what are the different factors that stimulated more to the development of the fishing in Norway. So we have already finished to see the fishing in Norway. Let us now run to see another country, which is Japan. So let us now see how is fishing practiced in Japan. So Japan is one of the 3 most important fishing countries in the world, and its per capita consumption of fish is the biggest in the world. So Japan also is another country that practiced the fishing activities, and its per capita consumption of fish is the biggest across the world. So inshore fishing along the coast and offshore fishing in the deep sea are taking place. So modern fishing vessels operate in the Pacific Ocean. As you see, there is a modern fishing vessels that is operated across the Pacific Ocean that support the fishing to be practiced in the country of Japan. Also fishing vessels are owned by the large corporations. So in Japan, there are the large corporations that hold those fishing vessels and contributed much for the fishing to be practiced in the country of Japan. So most vessels are refrigerated and have processing facilities. So whaling is also taking place, and whaling is the second largest whaling nations in the world. So also we see in Japan there is different kind of methods that are used in the fishing and encourage much the development of fishing in Norway. For example, there is a use of whaling. Also there are different facilities like those vessels that are contributed much to the development of fishing in Japan. So in Japan there are the different species that is found there. For example, there is a cod, there is herring and salmon. Those are samples of species of fish that is found in the country of Japan. So Let us now run to see what are the factors that have facilitated the development of fishing industry in Japan. As we know that Japan is among the countries that is developed more economically in the world. So here we are going to see what are those factors that contributed much to the development of fishing in Japan. The first one is the broad continental shelf of the Northwest Pacific. So due to the availability of the broad continental shelf that is found in Japan, contributed much to the development of fishing. So how the continental shelf contributed much to the fishing in Japan? It is through the meetings of those warm Kuroshio and the old Oyashio current helped the produce ideal conditions for the growth of planktons. As we said that the continental shelf allows the penetration of sunlight, and if there is a penetration of sunlight, automatically there is a high rate of producing the plankton, and the plankton acts as a source of food for fishes, and hence both the pelagic and the demersal fish are abundant. So this kind of species, that is pelagic and the demersal fish, tend to be abundant due to the availability of enough planktons that they use it as a source of food. So broad continental shelf across the Pacific Oceans contributed much to the development of fishing in the country of Japan. Another is the presence of many inlets, that is indentations, which provide a good breeding ground for fish and the development of fishing port. Also due to the development of fishing ports that is developed due to the availability of those many inlets, contributed much to the development of fishing also in Japan. Also traditionally, the Japanese have been traveling far in the sea or ocean, hence they have long experience in sea faring voyages, so this facilitated the fishing industry. So in traditional, the government of Japan traveled much into the different areas across the world, so they gained the experience on the farmings of fishing. So through those experiences, they tend to apply it and to facilitate the development of fishing industry. So that is another reason that contributed to the development of fishing. Another is the pressure on agricultural resources has made Japan turn her attention to the fishing industry. So pressures in the sectors of agriculture section. So the government of Japan tend to see another sector of economy, which is fishing, and keep emphasize much in the fishing activities rather than the agriculture activities. So due to the pressure on the sector of agriculture resources, the government of Japan see it is better to turn back to see the other economic sector, which is fishing, and hence keep their efforts to encourage the development of fishing. So the land in mountainous and hence not good for agriculture, as we see that those mountainous areas in Japan do not favor the agriculture activities, and hence the government of Japan see it is better to engage in the fishing activities. That is another reason that contributed much to the development of fishing in Japan. And another is modern industry and technological development has extended it to the fishing industry. So this has made fishing industry become efficient and effective. So due to the availability of industries and the technological which is developed in Japan, also facilitated much to the development of the fishing industry in Japan. So as we see that technology is everything for the development of cars. So and Japan is among the country that is developed more economically. So that is another reason that contributed to the development of fishing in Japan. So reliable market, also the countries of Japan having the enough market, both internal and external market. So through the availability of the internal and the external market, contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Japan. So the reliable market in the country and outside has encouraged the development of fishing industry in Japan. So in Japan, fish is a great source of food. Many people of Japan depend the fish as a source of food. So ready market has been promoted by the good preservation and the processing method. So the government of Japan having the ready market, which is promoted due to their methods that they are using in the fishing activities, and also the government of Japan having the good preservation techniques and the methods that are used in the processing that encourage the people to having the desire to use those fishing that is found in Japan. So the country of Japan having the both the internal and the external market, and has contributed much to the development of the fishing industry. Also, availability of capital which has invested in the fishing industry lead to the great development, as we see that the capital is everything for running any kind of economic sector. So the sector of fishing in Japan developed since there is availability of enough capital which stimulated the use of different facilities that is advanced. So they get those advanced facilities that are used in fishing through the availability of capital. So capital contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Japan. Also, banks and other institutions have been offering the financial support and technological advance in the development of fishing industry. So also there is other financial sectors like banking also provide the financial support in the sector of industry of fishing in Japan. So through those banks and other institutions, through providing the financial support, automatically also the sector of fishing in Japan developed. So that is another factor that contributed much to the development of fishing in Japan. So another is the strong government support in establishing research centers for the development of promotions of the fishing industry. As we see also, government support contributed much to the development of the fishing industry in Japan, since the government of Japan is establishing the research centers for searching the market, also for searching what are the best techniques that will be used in the fishing, and also those research that is conducted also the use in the how to promote the industry of fishing and etc. So the government provided the strong support to the fishing sector and hence tended to develop. That is another factor that contributed much to the development of fishing in Japan. Another is the presence of many islands in Japan has led to the existence of excessive fishing ground. So due to the availability of many islands in the country of Japan, it contributed much to the development of fishing industry in Japan. So due to the fact that those many islands that is found in Japan ensure the existence and the excessive of fishy ground in Japan. So many islands that is found in Japan contributed much to the development of fishing sector. Also, let us now see, after fishing, to see those factors that contributed much to the development of fishing in Japan. Let us now see what are the limitations of fishing industry in Japan. Here we are going to see those problems or barriers that lead to the development of fishing industry in Japan. The first one is the restriction imposed on Japan to limit its area for fishing. Each territory identified its own fishing ground, and there is to be no any interference from the other country. So here we see those restrictions or barriers from the other countries that are put in Japan tend to discourage the development of the fishing industry in Japan. So barriers or the barriers in the sectors of territory and etc. lead to act as a problem for the development of the fishing in Japan. So formerly Japan had a greater freedom in fishing in the... So after finishing to see those limitations that hinder the development of fishing industry in Japan, so let's us now see the questions here that need you to explain the factors that lead to the development of fishing industry in Japan. Here we're going to see those factors that act as the driving force for the development of fishing sector in Japan. Thank you for your cooperation and see you later.